Hi, everybody. The last few weeks of Parshas some of it has seemed somewhat mundane, but looking closely at the Parsha, we've seen that it's really been a progression of how we create holiness in this world. So it started off with the Beis HaMikdash and creating a space that is holy, and actually the Beis HaMikdash, which we can understand quite easily about being holy in a specific space. But then it turned into bringing that holiness into our homes, into our actions. The laws of Tumah and Tahara are really about that holiness in everything that we do, culminating in last week, Kadosh to you, a Parsha where it really gets into what type of actions Hashem expects of us in order to be holy. This week's Parsha really ends off this series of teaching us how to be holy, and with the explanation of the festivals. So we had created holiness in space within ourselves, and finally creating holiness within time. Now the interesting thing is the Meforshim show that there's a big contrast between Shabbos and the Yom Tovim, which I'd like to look at. In many ways, they are the same. The Gemara, the Mishnah tells us that Ein ben Yom Tov l'Shabbos ela ochel nefesh bilvat. There's no difference between them, except you can cook on Yom Tov and you can't prepare food on Shabbos. But Rashi himself says, he said, the first thing it says, these are the festivals. Moshe tells the Jewish people, these are the festivals. And the first thing it says, 6 days you shall work, and on the seventh day is Shabbos. And Rashi says, well, why is Shabbos here? This is not a festival. And the point being is that Shabbos is something fundamentally different from the festivals. Shabbos is a creation of Hashem. It was given to us as part of the 6 days of creation. We see after that parasha, Hashem rested and created the Shabbos. Shabbos happens every 7 days, and as part of the natural world. And Shabbos is really our Hashem reminding the Jewish people and the world that Hashem is in charge, and that Hashem created the world, and just to remember and to give us a time to sit back and ponder that fact and run our lives around it. And that's a critical message. It has to be inculcated in the Jewish people and all people constantly, in order that we don't run away with our own strengths and our own pride. Yom Tov, on the other hand, is fundamentally different. It is the Jewish people bringing holiness into this world. It's a culmination of that. And that's why Yom Tov, the days of Yom Tov, are determined by Beis Din. That, yes, there's a day for the 14th or the 15th of a month, but which day that is, that would be determined by the sighting of the moon and in the Beis Din. And therefore the Pasha, when it introduces it, it says, V'amarta alhem moad Hashem asher tikru otam. You will call them these moadim. It is up to the Jewish people in partnership with Hashem to establish the Yom Tovim, and that's why all the major Yom Tovim are related to the agricultural cycles. So Pesach is in the spring, Shavuot, which will be coming up, is in the harvest time, and finally Sukkot is when everything, I think, had been harvested, and we're ready to start the new plantings to benefit from the produce of the year before and start the new planting season. But it's really us taking what we have created in this world and using it in the Chagim to praise Hashem and to bring holiness into this world. And that's why each of these festivals is associated with certain types of agricultural projects that we may eat or that we may harvest or that we may shake, whatever it is. But it's the Jewish people taking our physical actions world and inculcating them with the holiness. And this, which is fundamentally different to Shabbos, because Shabbos is a passive act. It's Hashem teaching us what to do. Now, the interesting part, this actually comes out in two important halachas. When we say Kiddush, the Gemara has a discussion with regard to whether you can end a bracha with two different ideas. And it brings up an example of Mekadesh Israel v'hazmanim, that we say on Yom Tov. You sanctify Israel and the festivals. And it says, no, that's actually one idea, because it's Israel who sanctifies the festival. Then it suggests, but what happens when a festival falls on Shabbos? We say, Mekadesh HaShabbat v'Yisrael v'hazmanim. You sanctify Shabbos and the Jewish people and the festival. And it says, that is two different ideas, because Shabbos is its own thing, and the Jewish people sanctifying the festivals is its own thing. So we see there that the Jewish people but Shabbos is mentioned first, the Jewish people get their strength from Shabbos and bring it into the world through the festivals. The other idea where this comes up is in Havdalah, after Shabbos and after festivals. After Shabbos, we know we do Havdalah with a candle and with wine and with besamim, with something fragrant. And the reason why we use fragrance is because we taught that we get as extra soul on Shabbos, and when that soul leaves after Shabbos, again, a non-passive act, it just comes to us and it leaves after Shabbos, our existing soul in our body is disappointed with that, and it needs to smell something nice to recover. On Yom Tov, we don't use spices, and that is because what we create on Yom Tov is much more eternal. That remains with us after Yom Tov, and therefore we never got an extra soul on Yom Tov, but we don't need it, because we create Yom Tov ourselves, and what we create remains with us. So I think it's just an important idea is to understand when we're in these times, the Omer is really a time of Yom Tov. We've moved from Pesach, we're going to Shavuos. After that, there's ups and downs over the next 6 months of Jewish festivals, and we must understand that we create the specialty within those times and within those events. So everybody have a good Shabbos coming up. Thank you.